For the long-term methodological, substantive, and curricular guidance of teachers, school managers, instructional quality assurance staff, and other educational officials, an MLE framework has already been prepared. The framework establishes that MLE is not merely changing the medium of instruction. It is not about code switching or translation of materials. Strong MLE entails the following 10 fundamental requirements. Here are the fundamental requirements for strong mother tongue-based multilingual education MLE. First, a working orthography spelling for the chosen local language that is acceptable to the majority of stakeholders and promotes intellectualization of that language. It is only necessary to know how to spell if a person can read and write. Spelling teaches a person how to pronounce a word or how to write it. Second, fundamental requirements for strong mother tongue-based multilingual education is develop production and distribution of inexpensive instructional materials in the designated language at the school, division, and regional levels with a special priority on beginning, reading, and children's literature. These materials should be as much possible original, reflecting local people, events, realities, and appropriate to the language, age, and culture of the learners. So, materials must be easily accessible or reasonably priced for all learners. It must be linked to a grade level or an event at school. Students need supplies for their learning and study which they prioritize. And third, the use of the learner's first language or LI as the primary medium of instruction MOI from preschool until at least grade 3. During such period, L1 should be the main vehicle to teach understanding and mastery of all subjects areas like math, science, makabayan, and language subjects like Filipino and English. First language must be used and implemented in the classroom, particularly for children. It can assist them in assessing and participating in class. We understand that English is an international language that must be taught to understand since subjects do not value the first language and must be taught in English. Fourth, mother tongue as a subject and as a language of teaching and learning will be introduced in grade 1 for conceptual understanding. So we are all aware that learning a child's mother language helps in their social, cultural, and personal development. In grade 1, having a subject mother tongue would help students adapt better and grasp the curriculum. Fifth, the inclusions of additional languages such as Filipino, English, and other local or foreign languages should be introduced as separate subjects in a carefully planned pacing program or no earlier than grade 2. Additional languages such as Filipino, English, and other local or foreign languages must be taught as separate courses in a well-planned pacing program or no sooner than grade 2. Why? Because it will allow youngsters to bond with one another. There may be international students who are struggling with culture adoption and are eager to learn different languages. Sixth is, in the secondary level, Filipino and English should be the primary medium of instruction or MOI. The learner's first language or LI should still be utilized as an auxiliary medium of instruction. In the 6 fundamentals requirements, students gain metalinguistic awareness, study more academic information, improve their English ability, and create stronger identities and self-esteem when they are able to understand and communicate both their native language and English. Seventh, other than English, Filipino, or Arabic for Madari schools, the choice of additional languages should be at the behest of parents and endorsed by local stakeholders and as resources permit. When the pupils are ready, Filipino and English should be gradually used as MOI, no earlier than grade 3. However, LI should be effectively used to scaffold learning. Minors must have their parents' consent. Their decisions and opinions are important for their children's welfare and awareness. When kids reach the legal age, they may pick whatever language courses they want to take to learn additional languages, while English remains a component of their MOI. 8. The language of instruction should also be the primary language for testing in all regular school-based and system-wide examinations and in all international benchmarking and assessment exercises. It should be maintained that the focus of educational assessment should be specifically on the learner's understanding of the subject's content and not be modeled by the language of testing. English communications should be taught in schools as well. Why? Because this will be encourage students to participate in additional learning and will be highly advantageous to them while seeking for work. English is used in interview, presentation, and other situations. As a result, knowing how to comprehend and communicate in English might be beneficial. It is not about seeming smart, but about having a solid foundation in a language that makes learning other languages simpler. 9. There must be a continuing in-service training (INSET) in a partnership with MLE, specialists on the effective use of LI, language of instruction, to facilitate reading, cognitive academic language proficiency, and the development of cognitive and higher order thinking skills or HATS of the learner. INSET shall likewise equip educators to develop cultural sensitivity and enhance appreciation for cultural and linguistic diversity. So, in-service training should be used and made available. This will help them to be culturally aware and to appreciate diverse cultural and language. INSET enhance a variety of factors of overall performance. And last, fundamental requirements for strong mother tongue-based multilingual education (MLE) is ensuring critical awareness, maximum participation, and support from the LGU, parents, and community for the implementation of the Language and Literacy Program Strategy. Ensure critical awareness, maximum participation, and community support for the Language and Literacy Program Strategy. Why? Because if there is no cooperation from parents and local governments, it will be difficult and ineffective to execute. Making a project effective demands a lot of participation and supports to impose and embed something to build a better and safer environment for learners and teachers.